Hello everybody, Dan here, and I'm sitting behind these two lovely new Nintendo 3DS units which I got from Japan 3 days ago. And this video is gonna be interesting because I usually don't sit behind a camera and talk, because it's very hard to pinpoint certain thoughts, and secondly, I really hate the sound of my own voice. So I'm doing the two things that I'm most uncomfortable with, but I'm doing it with love and just because I want to show you guys some stuff about these new systems and mostly tell and talk about them and how I feel about them, which you guys have been clamoring for. You really wanted it, so here I am. So let's give this a shot, shall we? So let's talk with portability. Naturally, this one wins. It has a smaller form factor, it's easier to carry. Well, if you have a backpack or anything like that, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of Excel in your life. Though the smaller unit does have two advantages. The first one, it's very easy to show, are these lovely color buttons. They are the same colors as the Super Nintendo in Europe or the Super Famicom in Japan. And they are my favorite reference in a Nintendo handheld to date. They are, to the point, lovely made and lovely put together. The other thing, of course, are the faceplates. And I really like those. I love this Rosalina color. I love the little things that are put... I have that here's a little Luigi. Hello there, and a chain jump. And I can just look at these forever. They look great. But not only do they look great, they also have a purpose. Because the backs of the new Nintendo 3DS, well, this particular series of faceplates, have this very nice structured feel to them. You really can hold them very nicely. Well, the new Nintendo 3DS XL, when you first hold them, it is a bit slippery. You have to get used to it. If you ever hold like the Super Smash Bros. 3DS XL, you know exactly what that feeling is. You have to put your hands around it very comfortably and really hold them tight. And it takes a little while to get used to, but over time it just feels natural. Talking about things that are natural, let's talk about the controls. So, of course, I already mentioned the color buttons, but the interesting thing about these is these are more integrated to the system. They have a much more softer push. Well, these are raised a little bit higher, also together with the C-stick, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But both sides are, again, lovely. I don't have any problems with them. The home button is a bit of a deeper push on the XL, while it's raised completely high here. But the minor two things that I really have is that the power button on the new Nintendo 3DS is not great. I say really not great. It's really hard to push. While the one on the XL has a very soft and slight push, which I really like. Another thing that's a big difference though and returns the favor to the new Nintendo 3DS is that the volume switch is way nicer to flick up and down than the one on the XL. Sure, that might be a thing of my units, but that is how things are currently standing right now. And the thing is with the C-stick, I tried it with Super Smash Bros. And let's see, EX Troopers. Playing with the C-stick, it really feels like made for camera controls, nothing else. But then I played with Super Smash Bros., which has been the biggest surprise for me, and I could really charge up smash attacks, I could really easily perform them, so I really like that. So I see certain potential for certain types of games with the C-stick, though time will tell if that will be mostly camera games, or something similar with a nice usage like, for example, a Super Smash Bros. Maybe we'll see another fighting game from some third-party company. I don't know. It would be great, and I would definitely love it. Yeah, those are mostly the minor gripes, except for one. I have one more, but these actually count for both consoles. I don't really like these styluses at all. Like, I have big hands, as you can see, and even the one on the XL feels way too small. If you compare to the one of the XL here, this one is, I think, it is a bit longer. And it's roughly the same size, but I don't like this end here. I don't like this end very much. And I know it's mostly for the backs, so you can remove the plate and put in a new micro SD card. But it's more useful on the new Nintendo 3DS, and even there, the stylus is even worse. It is a very small and slight stick. I just like the one on the original 3DS way better, or even better, the one of the DSi XL. That's my favorite stylus of all time. Just the big pen one. And I bought some third-party ones, like on a sale way back. I'll grab one right here. And I just use these ever so often on my gamepad and on my 3DSs, and it just does the job wonderfully. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of those styluses. Talking about 3D, because that's of course the biggest factor of the new Nintendo 3DS, that has improved 3D functionality. And I can confirm, yes, it works. It works splendidly. You can just move your head just a little bit and it will still work. I tried Kirby Triple Deluxe on my new Nintendo 3DS. And of course in that game you have some motion controls where you would move certain elements around and make sure that the phone is placed correctly. I just moved the system ever so slightly and the 3D would not lose its charm. It would stay there right in its place. And that is absolutely splendidly done by Nintendo. I never expected this to work as well as it did, but it did, and props for that. I do have to say that a few third-party games still had some problems fully recognizing the head tracking 3D. And in that regard, the viewing angle on the XL is a bit nicer. Though I almost never had problems with the regular 3DS. I mean, the new Nintendo 3DS, Sorry. It's such a confusing name, by the way. It's so weird. But, yeah, it took me a bit longer to get adjusted to this. But after a while, it just felt second nature. And both of these systems, again, does the 3D splendidly. Though, when I'm sitting at home, it's usually the XL that gets turned down. Well, this one is sitting lovely in its cradle. Again, the 3D effect is one of my favorite features. It always has been one of my favorite features of the 3DS. And seeing it like refurbished again in this lovely form makes me so confident for the future. And hopefully we'll see more games that use this 3D technology even better. Then we talk about the other aspect that is important to the new Nintendo 3DS. Well, the final one. Well, one of two. There's one more minor one that I'm going to talk after. I just realized there's another one. But I'm first going to talk about the big one, which is the faster CPU. And it clearly shows. If you saw my comparison video for Super Smash Bros., that game booted up extremely fast. And I am extremely pleased with it. It turned on in just a matter of a few seconds. And I can only be so happy and grateful for that, especially with the web browser, which I can now use to watch actual 3D videos, which hopefully I've asked some people if they can upload more 3D videos to their specific channels, so hopefully in the future we have more 3D videos to watch, maybe even of some 3DS games, and it would be amazing to do so because it would even give a better impressions to other players what you can play on the new Nintendo 3DS. So I really think there's a future there, and hopefully people make use of that potential in that future. Also, downloading for the eShop was slightly faster. I don't have the best internet connection in the world, please be aware, but there was a slight edge to it. I had a little bit more faster speed than I usually would, so I am happy in that regard. The final thing, and again, this was a minor thing, but it just popped up in my head. I totally forgot it. The better camera. There are better cameras in this thing. I tried some AR games and some face raiders, which again, the 3D effects stand better into place in those ones, so I was very happy with that. But the bigger appeal of those games now is that you can play them better with the new 3D options. And thanks to the new cameras that are built in, like the updated cameras, like the AR cards recognized way faster than they usually would. And it allowed me to make even nicer pictures with, for example, photos together with Mario and Animal Crossing and Pikmin. So I'm happy. It's a very small thing, but I'm happy it's there. Also, to just head track my 3D head a little bit bigger, because my head is freaking enormous. So all in all, I really like those systems. Which one do I think is better? I have not really decided yet. This really has become my personal one day in and day out. But when I'm at home, I usually pick up this one. So it's really weird how it works. But that's also the weird thing of having them both in your house. So I might come back to that at a later point. There will be an article in the upcoming issue of Nintendo Force magazine, where I will go even more in depth about what I think about these new systems, and hopefully give my final conclusion of which one I actually find better. But for the time being, their pluses and minuses are almost equal, and it really just depends on what you enjoy more into a handheld system. Well, that's all for today, and I'm going to wish you a good night, morning, afternoon, whenever you watch this. If you want to have more updates on what I do usually, you can go to my Twitter channel, which is at NintenDaan. There's NintenDaan, and I post all sorts of stuff there, like my links to articles, videos that I do, and just random stuff that I found online I find really funny. Be aware though that I will talk sometimes about other things than just video games, but that is for another discussion entirely. Well, I'm rambling on. I'm sorry. I wish you all a good day.